हेलो, वेलकम टू लेट्स एक्सप्लोर इग्नू। एम एजुकेशन के सॉल्व असाइनमेंट आपको यहाँ पर देखने के लिए मिलेंगे, तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। कर रही हूँ MES043 ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर का, जो हमारे टर्म एंड एग्जाम 2024 के लिए है, दिसंबर सेशन के लिए है, क्योंकि जुलाई सेशन ऑलरेडी कंप्लीट हो चुका है, अभी दिसंबर सेशन पेंडिंग है, तो वो उसी का सॉल्व असाइनमेंट है, जहाँ पर आपको मैं क्वेश्चन और उनके आंसर्स वर्बली भी नरेट कर रही हूँ और जो रिटन मटेरियल वो भी यहाँ पर शो किया जा रहा है आपके स्क्रीन पे। तो अगर आपको कोई डाउट हो तो आप दोनों को क्रॉस चेक कर सकते हैं। वर्बली आपको वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग में इजी पड़ेगा, लिखने में थोड़ा इजी पड़ेगा, तो आप यहाँ से सुनकर और स्क्रीन पर देखकर उसको नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं आंसर को। एज इट इज असाइनमेंट में अच्छा स्कोर होगा। ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. Discuss various types of work groups in an organization with suitable example. A work group can be described as a collection of individuals working towards a common goal and who are independent to a significant degree as they relate to and interact with each other while performing their task. There are many reasons for the formation of groups, but they exist in all the organization. In one organization, many types of groups exist. Each group plays a crucial role in achieving organizational effectiveness. There are many ways in which we can classify groups. Formal and informal work groups. Formal groups are established by organization and have a public identity and goal to achieve, while informal groups emerge on the basis of common interest, proximity, and friendships. Examples are PTA, Teachers Association, a group of teachers working as counselors in the school. Formal groups are deliberately planned, structured to serve common or organizational interests. They are formed to accomplish specific functions and formal organizational goals. Formal groups are empowered with the authority by the institution. Authority is always delegated to the position and not to the person. Formal groups are formed by management of an organization which enforces some responsibility to the members of formal group. They are predetermined rules and regulations which are to be followed by every member of the group. Same formal groups have a relatively temporary life. They are created to accomplish a short-term task and then disband. There are different types of formal groups in an organization. Command group. It is collection of individuals who report to one manager. In school setting, it could be students in one class and their manager will be class teacher or a group of all the science teachers reporting to head of the department, etc. Command groups are based on the reporting relationship in organization. Command groups help an organization to accomplish variety of tasks. They have tremendous impact upon the extent to which an organization is able to achieve its goals. The leaders or managers of the command group play an important role in determining the effectiveness of this group. Second, the committees. It is the collection of people who are brought together by organization to accomplish a specific goal. Once the goal is achieved, the organization disbands the committee. For example, in educational organization, we have seen admission committees, annual day committees, science fair committees, etc. When committees are doing with long-term goals, they are not disbanded, but the member can be changed from time to time on the basis of seniority, efficiency, etc. These types of committees are known as standing committees. For example, in schools, examination committee could be considered as standing committee. The team. Teams are group of two or more people who interact with and influence each other, are mutually accountable for achieving common objectives and perceive themselves as a social entity. Within an organization, all team exist to fulfill some purpose, such as planning for timetable or making an important decision. Team members are held together by their interdependence and need for collaboration to achieve common goals. In the course of working together, the members of the team learn the abilities and experiences to accomplish things that could not be achieved by individuals working separately or by any other kind of work groups. Informal work groups. Informal groups are not specifically formed by organization, but they are occur naturally. It is just like the shadow of the formal organization. It is difficult for the organization to fulfill all the needs of the individual. So different informal groups arises to meet their needs on the basis of similarity in interest, customs, and ideology, etc. Types of informal group are friendship group. It is a group of individuals in an organization who enjoy each other's company and love to socialize with each other on the job or off the job. For example, a group of teachers go for shopping, watch movies, etc. Friendship group helps its members to meet the needs of social interaction and support. Interest group. Individuals may form interest groups when they have a common interest or a goal to achieve in an organization. For example, a group of teachers going for painting class. Cliques. These groups consist of colleagues who normally observe certain norms and standards. They are closely intimate to each other. The object of this type group is to provide recognition to each and exchange information of mutual interest. Example: a group of college principals sharing information on e-governance in college context with each other. Small and large groups. Group size is an important determinant of the way group members behave. The size of a group is normally measured by the number of full-time members who are involved in achieving the group goals. On the basis of number of members, a group can be small or large. Small group: in this group, members are likely to know everybody and interact regularly. They can share information daily and can recognize individuals' contribution to the group. For example, teachers in school. Large group: when the number of members of a group are very large, they are very less likely to know each other. There is lower level of interaction among members of this group. Example: teachers of a city. We can also take an example of IGNOU, that the school teachers are taking B.Ed programs in academic year of all over the India, but they are all not known to everyone. Primary and secondary groups. A primary group is defined as an entity in which members have intimate face-to-face interaction, interdependence, and a sense of identification with the entity. A primary group is small in size. In primary group, members have an additional feature of same values, interests, etc. And members are loyal to the group. For example, family of the best example of primary group. A secondary group is large entity and is made of several related primary groups. It tends to be impersonal. A school organization is an example of secondary group, as it has various primary groups of teachers, librarians, staff, workers, as administrators, managing committees, etc. Question 2. Explain the concept of leadership. Discuss various theories of leadership styles, giving example from an educational organization. Leadership is defined as an influencing process where leaders motivate the members of organization to get their best efforts and achieve organizational objectives enthusiastically. It is the critical factors that helps an individual or a group to identify its goals and then motivates and assists in achieving the stated goals. Three important elements in the definition of leadership are influence, support, voluntary effort, and goal achievement. Leadership can have a formal aspects of or informal one. Speaking of leadership rather than of leading usually implies that entities doing the leading have some leadership skills or competencies. दिस यहाँ पर एक फ्लो चार्ट दिया हुआ है, ठीक है, जो लेजियर फेयर ने दिया था, जिसमें हमारे पास सेंटर में लिखा हुआ है डिफरेंट लीडरशिप स्टाइल्स, जिसको हम फर्दर एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, ठीक है. फर्स्ट इज ब्यूरोक्रेटिव, कैरिज्मेटिक, ऑटोकरेक्टिक, ट्रांजैक्शन, सिचुएशन, डेमोक्रेटिव, एनवायरमेंट, पीपल ओरिएंटेड, टास्क ओरिएंटेड, सर्वेंट लीडर, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन और लेजर फेयर स्टाइल. लेजर फेयर स्टाइल, डेलीगेटिव स्टाइल. This leadership gives no continuous feedback or supervision because the employees are highly experienced and needs little supervision to obtain the expected outcome. This style is associated to leaders that do not lead to at all, failing in supervising its team members, resulting in lack of control and higher cost, bad service and failure to meet deadlines. Bureaucratic style. It is very structured and follows the procedure as they had been established. This type of leadership has no space to explore new ways to solve problem and is usually slow paced to ensure approval of the leaders stated by the company. Leaders ensure that all the steps have been followed prior sending it to the next level of authority. Universities, schools, colleges and government organizations usually require this type of leader in its organization to ensure quality, increase security and minimize malpractice. Leaders that try to speed up the process usually leads to frustration and anxiety. The charismatic style. Leaders lead by influencing energy and eagerness in their team members. This type of leaders has to be committed to the organization for the long run. Otherwise, charismatic leaders are a risk for the institution when they decided to resign for other opportunities because his or her staff only saw the success of the department is linked to the leader, not the team. It takes time and hard work to gain the team members' confidence back with other type of leadership. The autocratic style. The leader have been given the power to take decision while having total authority. This leadership style is good for employees that needs close supervision to perform certain tasks. Educational institutes do not prefer and resent this type of leadership due to the creative and personal commitment of the teachers and other staff in carrying out their duties. A rigid, structured, and formal supervision is not being able to enhance process or decision making, resulting in job dissatisfaction. Democratic participative style. This means that even though you want to listen to your team's ideas, you as the leader will study those ideas and will take that final decision. This type of style is not recommended when decisions are needed in a short period of time or at the moment. The people oriented style. The leader, in order to comply with effectiveness and efficiency, support, train, and develop his personal, increasing job satisfaction and genuine interest to do a good job. The task-oriented style. These leaders focus on the job and concentrate in specific tasks assigned to each employee to reach the accomplishment. This leadership style suffers the same motivation issues as autocratic leadership, showing no involvement in the team's need. The servant style. The leader facilitates goals accomplishment by giving its team member who they need in order to be productive. It is an instrument employees uses to reach the goal rather than a commanding voice that moves the change. The transaction style. The power given to a certain person to perform certain tasks and reward or punish for the team's performance. It gives the opportunity to manager to lead the group and the group agrees to follow his or her leader to accomplish a predetermined goal in exchange of something else. The transformation style. The leader motivates his or her team to be effective and efficient. Communication is the base for goal achievement, focusing the group in final desired outcome and goal attainment. This leader is highly visible and uses chain of command to get the job alone. The environment style. The leader nurtures group or organizational environment to affect the emotional and psychological perception of an individual places in that group or organization. The leaders uses organizational culture to inspire individuals to and develop leaders at all levels. The situational style. The leaders uses different leadership styles depending on the situation and the type of employee that is being supervised. Leader in the education system has the ability to transform the system. Generally, leaders in the education system can set a pattern and guide the outcomes of cooperative action. Guide educational programs but rely on shared decisions. Give common understanding to common purpose and goals. Produce cohesiveness without which cooperation is impossible. Communicate with all concerned personnel with a sense of mutual understanding and mutual loyalty to the ideals of education. Generate enthusiasm for projects and inspire working towards their completion. Resolve the differences which frequently arises in growing organization. Lead by example and inspiration. Contribute to the group of advising useful suggestions. This based on the assessment of the needs in the school or any other educational institutes. Each leader must decide the leadership style that needs to be opted for the smooth functioning of educational institutes in all circumstances. Next question. Describe the various steps for developing positive interpersonal relationship. Discuss the key role an educational head has to play in managing the administrative staff, students, teaching, faculty, and community. Steps for developing positive interpersonal relationships. First is building trust. Next, getting to know the staff and students well. Respecting rights of others. Empowering others. Demonstrate confidence without being arrogant. Building trust. It takes the time to create, nurture, and sustain trust. The cornerstone of all relationship and communication is trust. Without trust, relationship is compromised. Because trust is critical to the quality of relationship, it is needed by the principal or head of the institution to set the stage for building the trust for demonstrating personal integrity. In building and trusting interpersonal relationship for educational institution improvement, teachers needs to feel that the principal is depend dependable and has necessary skills and knowledge to lead the institution, and for that open and transparent communication is essential. Integrity and authenticity and openness are all dimensions of trust. Respecting rights of others, the principal or head of the organization needs to recognize the respect the rights of teachers, staff, students and parents. It is essential to maintain confidentially in all matters relating to students and staff, and also not to hurt others by intentionally making false statements. Demonstrate confidence. Body language often speaks. It is important for the headmaster or the principal to restrain from exhibiting a body language that suggests that he or she is putting a wall between self and others. Staff will develop that trust when they see and feel that the principal expects the from himself or herself as he or she does from each one of them. It is critical that each staff members consider him or her to be upfront and fair in how she deals with situation and treat each other person. Getting to know the staff members and students well. A relatively simple way to get to know the staff may be to spend time with them and even occasionally meet them in informal get together and teaches restroom or lounge. It is important to give the listening ear to them, hereby showing them that you care for them. Empowering others. Empowering employees is a key factor in marginal managerial and organizational effectiveness. Relationship between teacher empowerment and interpersonal trust in the principal is highlighted. Principal need to give the teachers significant autonomy and substantial influence in their work environment. They need to consider strategies that can strengthen teachers' perception of empowerment and reinforce trust for the behavior. Interpersonal relationships are social association, connection, affiliation between two or more people. They vary in differing levels of intimacy and sharing, implying the discovery or establishment of common ground and may be centered on something shared in common. Interpersonal relationship is mutual fulfilling of needs. When two peoples have strong needs and each satisfies the other's needs, there is a positive interpersonal relationship. When two people have weak needs and each do not fulfill others needs to a minimum level, there is a mild relationship. When each person has strong needs too and those needs are not being fulfilled, there is a poor relationship. A principal has a key role to play in educational administration and management. An effective administrator demonstrates an appreciation of professional responsibilities and ethical principles associated with leading educational organization. It is important for the principal to believe in significance of human relations for effective school management. It is the vitality of human relations that creates an atmosphere that fosters educational management. For principal, establishing interpersonal relationships entails the ability to collaborate with teaching faculty, administrative staff, students, parents, and other stakeholders. This multifarious relationship is a sine qua non for creating a successful educational organization. It is important to note that occasional confrontations between teachers and students do exist. Ridiculed favoritism, exclusion, and deliberate demeaning behavior exhibited by teachers towards students became a reality in certain situations. In such cases, a savvy administrator with effective interpersonal skills needs to evaluate the situation, devise the plan, and makes changes for the better by working closely with the student and teachers. An effective educationalist principal involved in establishing and maintaining the professional environment needs to model of positive interpersonal relationships. It became essential for an effective principal or educational head to lead in establishing a vision for what is positive interpersonal relationship, whether the relation is between teacher and student, teacher and fellow teachers, teachers and parent, and teachers and other staff. क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स यहाँ पर प्रोवाइड करा दिए गए हैं, तो आप सॉल्यूशन नोट डाउन करके अपने असाइनमेंट सबमिट कर सकते हो। थैंक यू। सब्सक्राइब फॉर मोर वीडियोज़।